Olson, who had, by Heifer Lake and stuff, he had sawmills and stuff like that, him and Ivor Skog. But Ole was an unbelievable, he looked after, how would you put it, problem wildlife, like cougars and bears and stuff like that. And was actually paid a bounty from the government to do those kind of things. Eh? And he was an excellent at training dogs to tree the bears or the cougars or whatever. And it's funny because when you read some of the early records of Silver Creek and Grease Creek and stuff like that, they never mentioned about many of those problems, but there was lots of problems with game. You can imagine if you had 1,000 head of sheep out in this country, how long they'd last, eh? But it's amazing because they lived right with them, they herded them, they actually took care of them. Really interesting to see how they did it and what they did it, eh? And their attitude towards it, that kind of thing, and the hunting. And of course, that was another big problem they had. They took the Indians' kind of folklore, eh? And what they used to do is if they wanted to harvest some buffalo or some game in an area, they'd light her on fire. And that was carried on by the early ranchers too, to clear the brush out of the way so it was better grazing, eh? But, you know, that's a lost art that probably is frowned on maybe today, but guess what? It's part of our history. And if you study any range management things, you understand that building our black soil that we have now was on those principles of burning and overgrazing with buffalo, like herds of buffalo, 1 million of them crossing your land, what's left of it. And it actually developed our soils. And you got to remember that probably about 75, 80% of all the grassland is now our prime harvest and food lands. So it's something that people don't think about. We've had it too easy in Canada. Food has been too easy to grow and stuff like that, and we don't give credit to where credit is due. So it's a hard thing to do, but we got to preserve more of the grasslands, and I see there's some new initiatives going on. There's more in BC right now too that I've been reading that they're preserving theirs at the beginning is important. And different management systems that are out there too. As part of management, range management and stuff like that, it's not a simple process. It takes a lot of work and effort to do it right. And yet we still have the odd rancher that'll just say, oh, just open the gates, let them go. Well, that's not quite the way you should be doing it. So, like I say, education and all those kind of things are things we've learned through many, many, many years. So anyhow, that's kind of a thing that my family's kind of been in for years and years and years. So it's very important to do those kind of things. And yet I still have a brother and a couple of nephews say, oh, no, we don't have to know any of that stuff. Well, you got to train these people to know what's important and what they have to do.